There we go. Beis Amid Beis. We are in the middle of the Maisa Mitilni Amalka, and we'll pick up from there. Let's pick up from Meisvei. The Gemara is going to ask on Rav Huna v'Rav Chanan that they explain that the machlekes in the Mishnah is davka b'sukkah kitana, but a sukkah gedayla, whether that means 7 tvachim, whether that means 4 by 4 amos. Everyone agrees, afilu lemala mi'esrin amos ksheira. That's what we're holding. So Meisvei frekt the Gemara. It's about 15 lines from the bottom. First word on the line is amos. Amos, different called ksheira, Meisvei. Sukkah shiga avoya lemala mi'esrin amos, says the Braisa, psula. Rav Yehuda machshir ad araboim v'chamishim amma, until 40 or 50 amos. Someone last week made mention that is this Braisa arguing on the Mishnah. So what did the Mishnah say? The Rav Yehuda says it's kosher. Didn't give a limit until 40 or 50 amos. So Taisvis says no. Taisvis on the side, Arbaim v'chamishim amma, comes along and says it doesn't mean 40 or 50. It means as much as you want, it's kosher. It just said that, just to give or whatever, but really it's kosher all the way. Rav Yehuda machshir ad arba'im v'chamishim amma. Says Rav Yehuda, I'll bring you a raya. Rav Yehuda, ma'isa behelni amalka belod. There was a story with Queen Helni in Lod. Those who are starting Yuma now with the Raisa program, eventually you'll get to who was Helni Amalka. She was the mother of Munbaz Hamelech. Gemara in Yuma, Daf Lamid Zayin. Okay, so Helni Amalka. Shaisa Sukasai Gavaya Maser Mama. So Helni is in a sukkah higher than 20 amos. And who's with Helni? Why is it Kainim? Nechnasim v'Yosvin Sham. All the elders went to visit the queen, and they're going and they're coming from the sukkah. V'loi amru la davar. And they say nothing to her. No one makes mention that the sukkah is too tall. No one says anything. And they all have no problem. So amru lai. That was Rav Yehuda's raya. Rav Yehuda brings a raya. More than 20 amos is kosher. Why? We see from this story. All the chachamim are going to the sukkah. It's more than 20 amos. And they said nothing. Says the chachamim respond. Amru loy, the chachamim respond to Rav Yehuda. Shalom avracha. Not sure what you say on like Sunday. I'd say good avach, I guess. Amru loy, misham raya. Is that a raya from the fact that the chachamim went to visit Helni Amalka? Isha Isa, she was a woman. Upetura min sukkah. And that's the reason why they didn't say anything. Amr lehen, Rav Yehuda responds, what do you mean? She had 7 kids. Void, and furthermore, kol ma'iseh lo yasasa ela al pi chacham. We know that Helni Amalka was a very special woman, that everything she did, she asked the shayla. So we have a twofold problem. Number one, if she asked, what should he have been told? Can't be more than 20. And number two, what about her 7 kids? So says the Gemara, let's figure out what exactly is going on in this price. Interesting story with Helni Amalka. Asks the Gemara, Lama li lemisni. Why do we have to, we're about 10 lines to the bottom. First word line is Ella. Lama li lemisni. Why do we have to write? The second reason. Meaning, the first was a kasha enough. She had 7 kids and finished. Why did the Gemara have to point out? And also, what? It's just adding salt to the wound. So explains the Gemara, Hachi kamar lahu. This is what Rav Yehuda was responding to the Chachamim. Ki taimru. Maybe you'll answer me. She had 7 kids? No. Panim kitanu are you? They were little kids. Ketanim beturim min sukkah. And ketanim are butter from the sukkah. But now, it's not possible. Why is it not possible? Kivan de Shiva, there were 7 of them. It's impossible that it wasn't one. Right? Maybe he was 7, maybe he was 8, maybe he was 9. But he certainly was at an age that he didn't need his mother. So if he was at an age and he didn't eat his mother, asks the Gemara, he was chayiv in a sukkah. And therefore, the chitemru, and maybe you'll suggest, so you know what you're going to tell me? You're right. You're right. He needed to be in the sukkah. That's only a derabanan. Katan shenetzarach leimai ben derabanan umechayiv. Maybe you'll tell me it was only derabanan. So we have a woman with 7 kids. Is there an obligation? A little bit. Derabanan. She'll tell me, no. Help me, Amalka didn't listen to derabanans. V'ihi derabanan loy mishkacha. And she didn't listen to derabanans. That's what you will suggest. So on that last detail, Toshema va'oid kol ma'iseh lo yasasa elo al pi chachamim. She listened to the chachamim. So what do we see? We see clearly from the fact that the chachamim didn't say anything. What do the chachamim obviously hold? That a sukkah higher than 20 is going to be kosher. What's the problem? The chachamim held that a sukkah higher than 20 is pasul. So far, so good. Are we all with me? Yeah. So now is where things are going to get wrapped up. So far, all you need to know is the Mishnah. Now says the Gemara, let's remember the 3 different ways we had of learning the Mishnah. Bishalom leman damar. It's good if you're going to tell me Bishein defanais magias l'schach machlokes. That when is the machlokes in the Mishnah? When the walls do not reach the schach. But if the walls reach the schach, then what did the Rav Huna, what did he teach us? The Rav Yishaya, what did he teach us? Then everyone agrees it's kosher. Why? Because your eye travels up the wall and sees the schach. So if that's the way you explain the Mishnah, then everything is good. Why? Because Darka Shal Malka, one more time. B'shein devanos megiz l'schach machlokes. Darka Shal Malka leishe b'sukkah. B'shein devanos megiz l'schach. Are you going to tell me Misham Avira? So she was sitting in a sukkah that was a very airy sukkah, meaning that the walls did not reach the schach. And therefore what? Now we can understand the conversation between Rav Yehuda and the Chachamim. Rav Yehuda is saying to Chacham, I have a raya, I'm right. What's my raya? From Hilni Amalka. Why? It's more than 20 amos. Chacham didn't say anything. So if the place where they argue is only when the walls don't reach the schach, then I understand everything. Why? Because we'll say that this case of Hilni Amalka is where the walls did not reach the schach, and that's why we have a machlokes. But now here's the punchline. Elo leman da'amar, according to the 2 opinions, Rav Huna and Rav Chanan, de'amar, b'sukkah kitana machlokes, that they only argue in a small sukkah, Rav Yehuda and the Chachamim. Chidarka shel malka leishe b'sukkah kitana. Are you going to tell me that a queen is sitting in a small sukkah? Of course not. So how do you understand the whole conversation? There was a whole story over here. Rav Yehuda and the Chachamim discussing Hilni Amalka. What's the whole conversation? The whole machlokes is only on a small sukkah. Hilni's in a big sukkah. So what is the whole conversation? Again, from the Braisa, from the way the Rav Yehuda proved his din, we could see in which case Rav Yehuda clearly held that he argued with the Chachamim. And clearly it was even in a big sukkah. Answers the Gemara, a very interesting teretz. Amar Rabba bar Ravada, lo nitzracha elo l'sukkah ha'asuya kitanios. The sukkah had little kitanios, little rooms. And that's why each little room had a din of its own sukkah. And that's why there is a machlokes between Rav Yehuda and the Chacham. Meaning, it's true. If I were to ask anyone how big was Hilni's sukkah, Avad, it was a big sukkah. So if it was a big sukkah, why are Rav Yehuda and the Chachamim arguing? Didn't we just say they only argue in a small sukkah? Explains the Gemara that it was made with compartments in the sukkah, and that's why they argue. Says the Gemara, 1 second, this doesn't sound very majestic. Chidarka shal malka leishev b'sukkah asiyos kitanios. Do you really think that Hilni Amalka is sitting in a compartment, in a cubicle? Come on. The king, the boss doesn't sit in the cubicle. Okay, nowadays, Yesh Ladin, different bosses do different things. But in the world of kings, the Heilige, I don't know if he's Heilige, I don't want to get anyone involved in politics over here. So let's forget. I was going to say Donald Trump. You think he's in a cubicle? Come on. He's sitting in a palace. King Charles, whatever it is. They sit in big matzavim. So how can he tell me that Hilni Amalka is in these little areas? Amar Rav Ashi, lo nitzracha ela likitoinios sheba. It's true. She was sitting in this massive area, but there were also small rooms. So the conversation that Rav Yehuda was having with the Chachamim, and Rav Yehuda was proving his point. And Rav Yehuda was saying, you see, from Hilni Amalek, even above 20 years kosher, was in that room. Oh, that makes sense. Even if you live in a palace, you still have small rooms. So Rav Yehuda was proving from the small rooms. Finally, the Gemara concludes, Rabbana and Savri Boneo Besukkah Mal Yahave Yasvi. Shalom Ravari. Hopefully we will have Meirv, where we're gonna learn until we get a minyan, but I don't know how much energy everyone has. So let's just go a little bit further. Not each room schach is at a different level. Good. They're all the same, but because there are small rooms and bigger rooms, Rav Yehuda is proving from the smaller rooms. Meaning, they all had there was all this 40 feet high schach. So according to Rav Yehuda, it's kosher. According to the Chacham's puzzle. Rav Yehuda calls over the Chacham, say, Chacham, I have a raya, I'm right. My raya is Hilni Amalka. My raya is her sukkah. Says the Chacham, what's your raya? It's a massive sukkah. No, the little rooms within the massive sukkah. And even in those rooms, it was kosher. Rav Kalman, Erev Tov. So answers the Gemara. Rabbanan Savri. We're going to have Meir, don't worry. Rabbanan, B'siyata D'Shmei. Rabbanan Savri. Baneh B'sukkah Ma'al Yavi Yasvi. Rav David, I think this might have been what's bothering you. What are the Rabbanan things? Again, let's play out the picture. The Rabbanan are going to visit Queen Hilmi. And these little rooms. So what do the Rabbanan obviously think? The kids who are chayiv in sukkah, where are they eating? In the big massive room. The Hilmi, she's sitting in a little room. She's the queen. Who cares? Why? Mishum tzniusa. That's why they didn't say anything. Rav Yehuda savar. What do you mean? The kids sit together with mommy. So comes out a fascinating machlokes. We have a big sukkah. We have small rooms. What's the machlokes? The machlokes is Rav Yehuda and the Rabbanan approached the story two different ways. Rav Yehuda saw this sukkah and said, kosher, according to everyone, tall walls. Because who's obviously in the big sukkah? Everyone. The Rabbanan said, that's not a raya. The fact that the Gadol Adar went to visit Hilni and didn't say anything, that's not a raya. This is the precursor for Rebbe Shemaisas. There was a Maisa that happened. And now everyone here is debating what happened. We know the Chacham went to visit Hilni. We know they said nothing. And now we can debate ad infinitum what happened. Did they not say something because they were in the big sukkah? Did not say because they're in the small sukkah? We'll stop over here. Siyat Shema will chazer tomorrow.